Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel, and it's review time again because I got the green hat on. And I'm going to review the second of the KTRTs that I bought last month. Now, as I said, I bought two KTRTs last month. Well, actually, I bought them the month before because the parcels was slightly delayed. And I did a review on Sonar Diver last month, and I said I was going to hold the review of the other figure over into July. And I'm recording this on Sunday the 5th of July, and I woke up this morning and I realised, hang on a minute, I need to do a review on that other KTRT. And I thought, oh, hang on a minute, I've put him up in the loft. Because the way I work when I do my collecting over the course of the month, you know, I do my end of month bot haul, and then as I get the stuff throughout the month, I put them in a large cardboard box at on the floor at the base of my bed. And that fills up, and then when we move over into the following month, that stuff stays in there until the first new arrival from in the following month comes in, and then I empty it out and I put it all up in the loft. So I'd put this guy up in the loft as if, you know, into storage and, you know, basically to be forgotten about. And I remembered, oh, I've got to do a review on it. So yeah, so here it is. Here's my review of this figure, and it's a new figure from the Hello Carbot line, season 8. Yeah, because it's funny that you say that, because actually in the last couple of days Choi Rock have released videos on their YouTube channel showing the opening and closing credits for Hello Carbot season 9, and yeah, they seem to be, obviously they've done a display of all the new bots that are coming out, including a rehash of characters from the original show back in season 1, i.e. the characters that make up Pentastorm, because they've done a reformat of Pentastorm. They're now calling him Pentastorm X, and he's got these brand new looking alt modes, but I assume it's the same characters. So yeah, they're rehashing old characters from, so they're running out of new ideas, so they're doing a, you know, a cash grab from old IPs and rehashing them for a new generation. That's besides the point. This guy I'm reviewing today is from season 8. And it is Hello Carbot's Techno Master. Now here he is in his alt mode, and I thought I'd start with the alt mode because, well, actually before we actually get into the figure, let's put this guy down for a second, and I wanted to have a quick talk about the packaging. Now, this is his box, right? It's still quite a large box. It's got the usual Korean sort of hangle all over it. It does have a bit of English on it, like he's got his name at the top, Techno Master. It's got Chatan and Owl to King, or whatever his name is. And then it's got this thing on the back, because he does come with a little sound chip that you can put into the watch, and it makes, you know, voice clips for the character and sound effects. But that's one of the accessories it comes with. Now, this box is kind of small, and I can do a comparison because I've got a box from the first Carbot, Hello Carbot Santa Fe Ace. Look at the difference in the size of box. Now, Hello Carbot has been accused over the past of making oversized packaging for their figures, and here's an example of that. Their combiners like Pentastorm and what was the other one? Well, some of their combiners, they've got these humongous boxes, and they put the figure in, and there's lots of empty space inside with, you know, sort of like those plastic clamshell things. But I mean, these figures, the original ones, they were scale models, like licensed Hyundai 1/22nd scale models of real world vehicles. The figures they do now are none of that. But they have been actively downscaling their products, and especially in the packaging, which in some ways is a good thing, because this packaging, you know, has got a lot less stuff in it, because, you know, we all know what a throwaway society we live in these days, and plastic waste in the environment and all that stuff. You know, they want to cut back on the amount of packaging they use on their products, and they seem to have done that, certainly, because look at the difference here. However, the figure is slightly smaller as a result, and we'll get to that in robot mode. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight the fact that this guy comes in a fairly small and compact box. It could be smaller if they'd have, you know, if they'd have packaged him in alt mode. They could have put it in a box less than half the size of this, but obviously they do them in robot mode, and they have the big window in the front so you can see the figure through the front of the package. But anyway, let's get that out of the way. So getting back to Techno Master's car mode. Now it's called Techno Master, and you probably think techno as in technological, but apparently no, it's techno as in techno music. Apparently this guy is really into his techno music, and that's why he's called Techno Master. And he forms this futuristic looking car, which I think looks like a futuristic police car. It's got that, you know, white and blue colours, and he's got this thing on top which you can sort of flip round. You can actually pull it off. That's part of his sort of weapon. And it's got lots of cool moulded details. It's got like an engine block. It's got it's got windscreen wipers. It's got rear view mirrors. It's got painted wheels that are pinned and rolled exceedingly well. Hasn't got transparent lenses on the front, but it's got them on the back. And then obviously you've got a bit of robot stuff scrunched up underneath. It's got a spoiler. It's got a louvered rear window. It looks like a futuristic sporty car, and that's pretty cool. Now, transformation on this thing, being a Carbot, is quite fun and intuitive, and I like to think that this is a return to form for Hello Carbot figures, because in the intermediate years they've gone away from, you know, proper transforming figures, and they've gone for, like, you know, sort of like one-step changes and gimmick toys that, you know, aren't properly articulated. But this is no, this guy is a proper articulated figure, and he has a fun transformation. So car mode, pretty cool, reasonable weight to it, but, you know, it's like a, well, I won't say a Voyager car. I haven't really got anything else to do a size comparison. Actually, I have. There you go, alternator shockwave. So he scales very well with alternators cars, as you can see there. So yeah, I just happen to have him on the shelf in car mode. So anyway, right, transformation. This guy's got a pretty fun transformation. Now you sort of start by splitting the sides, then you can sort of pull that out of the way, then split the legs, and the legs have a really cool sort of transformation thing on them. The outside of the leg sort of folds round, and then the spoiler comes round, and then you just fold down the foot. So you watch it again, it swivels round, and then you get the foot. Now I really like that. That's a pretty neat way of transforming the legs, and there's no hollowness on the inside of the legs either, so you get a decent pair of legs. Moving back up top, fold this bit up, bring up these shoulder pieces. You can then unlock the elbows, and then on the back you've got this windscreen piece, and you fold it down and to reveal his head, and then you slide open these windscreen panels, and then slide that up, and there you have Techno Master in his robot mode, and he's a pretty cool figure. Now, getting back to what I was going about, you know, sizing, my usual size comparison is Combiner Wars Megs, and you put him next to Combiner Wars Megs and you can see he's slightly shorter. However, when you put him next to Santa Fe Ace, the original Carbot, big size difference. I mean, this is how big Carbots used to be when they were, you know, back in the days of old. This is an original size. I mean, you put him next to Megatron, and as you can see, he is bigger than a Combiner Wars leader class. This is what got me into Korean toys in the first place, is stuff like this. Mainly because when you transform them, they're like licensed scale vehicle modes of real world vehicles. But they moved away from that, and now they're doing stuff like this. So yeah, downsizing. It's a common thing, you know, it's going on everywhere. You know, manufacturers are, in order to save costs, are downsizing their product. I mean, we've had this all over the place. I mean, it's not just, you know, Choi Rock that are doing it. It's all walks of you know, product production. You know, it's like packets of crisps and chocolate bars. You know, I mean, packet of crisps. I remember back in the day, you open a pack of crisps and it'd be full of crisps right up to the top. Now you open a pack of crisps and it's like barely half full at the bottom, and it's all done in you know, penny pinching. It's all done in the making as much profit as possible. Anyway, getting back to the robot mode, he's a pretty cool, colourful looking figure. He's got the blue and white going on, but it's now got some sort of orange highlights and a little bit of green. He's pretty cool. He does have, like I said, this accessory, which can open out into a kind of a boomerang. But it does have a place where it plugs into his back. There's a big peg on the back, and it plugs in, and then forms part of his robot mode. Now, mechanical detail is really cool on this guy. Articulation, he's got a ball jointed head. Has got these flat things which are either side of his head, so it limits his sideways vision, but obviously they didn't think about that when they designed the toy. It's got sort of like a joint there. Ratchets, yeah, we're back to using ratchets. And it's got like an elbow that goes to 90 degrees, kind of. No bicep swivels because, you know, Korean toys don't usually do that. Nothing at the waist due to the way this guy transforms. Does have a thigh swivel mind. And then he's got a 90 degree elbow, but because of the transformation joint, you can actually fold this round and give him an even deeper knee bend. So that's an extra articulation joint that's, you know, due to transformation engineering. The feet, they sort of fold up. There's no ankle tilt on this, even though it's got that usual thing whereby the feet are cut at a slight. They've got a slight angle cut on the ankles, so as to allow him to have a neutral A stance when sat on the floor. So yeah, I mean, obviously, let's do the. It's got hips, very crackly ratchets backwards and forwards. So yeah, he's got the basic amount of articulation that you expect on a large robot toy. But again, you know, downsized. I mean, this guy is. I mean, obviously he's smaller than a leader class, and actually, it's all right. Pounce just went for a dive. Now you put him next to an ultra class like Universe Onslaught here, and he's pretty much ultra scale. Ultra scale, as we know, is an obsolete size class from the Chug line back in the day. They sort of gave up on it. They only did a handful of figures in the ultra scale class. But this guy is you could say he's one of those. He's okay. Price wise, I mean, you know, buying this thing is kind of screwed up at the moment. The Korean sellers on eBay are putting their prices up, and you know, because of reasons, they're applying, you know, shipping prices instead of doing them free shipping like they used to. So buying these figures off eBay is getting increasingly expensive, and because of the shipping delays from the Far East due to the COVID crisis, you know, you could be waiting weeks, if not months, for them to arrive, which I'm personally not prepared to do. So at the moment, I'm not really into buying my Korean toys for that reason. I just happened to go for these guys because they were new releases that came out that I like the look of and wanted to get into, so that's why I bought them. He's a good figure. There is more figures out there that have come out that I want to get hold of, most notably the Tobot V Season 2 figures look really good. I'd like to get hold of those. And they've got the Hello Carbot minifigures from Seasons 2 and 3. I'd like to get hold of those as well, but again, because of the situation with global shipping at the moment, it's not really a good idea for me to go for that stuff right now. Hopefully things will improve in the next couple of months and I might be able to get back to normal. But for now, that's me doing a review on this thing. He's a decent figure. He's a pretty cool. He looks cool. He's got all the usual sort of joints you'd expect on a Hello Carbot figure. He's just slightly smaller than Carbots of old. And that has been my review of this figure. I've been TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.